Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. My opponent's gone first with a bingo, Bendia. Good start for her, 72 points. I have a great rack because I have province through the eye. It's not doubled or tripled, but do I have something better? It's certainly good to have a playable bingo. Now, I should mention that I do know my opponent tonight. This is Naomi from London, who specialises in 3-minute games on ISC. So, although 20 minutes can feel quite rushed, it's not going to feel rushed for Naomi. Now, I haven't seen anything better than province. Yeah, I think that is the only bingo. And this is okay. It's a balanced rack. I don't have a bingo, but I should be able to score well. I have 3 high-scoring tiles, the B, the M, and the W. So I'll be looking to play off 2 or 3 of those. The M is the best of the 3 in terms of bingoiness. But I could play all 3 with womb. Not sure that there's anywhere great for that. And through an A I would have wombat. But actually a play of bow would sort the rack out quite nicely. Although it would retain the M is fairly bingo-y. And a rack leave of 2 vowels and 2 consonants is better than 2 vowels and 1 consonant. 21 points for Naomi. What can I do? So I'm looking at bow, possibly mo. I'm wondering about M-bow, which I could play in row K. Gosh, and I'm looking also at the R of province to see if I've got something through that. Nothing is jumping out at me. I could play mob at G3, but that retains the W, and I really want to get rid of that. Aha. There is a spot for womb. And although it retains 2 vowels and only 1 consonant, I think it's going to score quite well. 29 points. I don't think I'm going to get more than that on this board. Yep, all those words are good. And I have the Z, which is good, and I have a lot of vowels, which is not too bad with the Z, because the Z benefits from having vowels, so I have quite a lot of flexibility. Towels is a good 5-letter word, and Towsia, which I can play in row E onto the R of province. What else is available? I need to consider column 1, if I have anything down from the W of womb. But that would be a 6-letter play using the Z. I can't see that. W-E-I-Z-E is good, but that stops 1 square short. So Towsia is the best I've seen so far. 32 points, that's a good score. I've also got Cozy in row J for about the same. But that leaves a rack leave of UTE, and it would be nice to play off the U because that is not a particularly bingo-y tile. Province does take an S on the end, so row L is a pretty hot bingo lane for bingos ending in S. I don't think there are any other spots on the board for a 7-letter S ending bingo. Bendia doesn't take any hooks at the end. Now, I'm currently only 4 points ahead. Naomi is on turn. And Tausia remains available. But is there something better? Taus plays in column 11, but that's not going to score as much. And it opens up the triple word squares in row A. So I think Tausia is best. Always a risk when you're playing off 6 tiles in terms of what you draw. I am drawing 6 random tiles from the bag, so I could have a terrible rack, or I could have a good one. And it's sort of in the middle. It's not great. I do draw another U, but thankfully I did not retain the one that I had on the previous rack. I've got the K for score. Now, EUK, KUE, and UKE are all good. So is Nuke and Niuk. And I've got the S for putting on the end of province. So that might be worth considering. Good score for Naomi, 31 points. She has got a 23-point lead. Now, is there anywhere great for my K? Well, I could play it in column 1. I could play weeks. But that retains the U. $42 points. It's a big score. But Nukes here, or Nukes, scores only about 3 or 4 points less, and it does burn the U, 37 points. And it takes out a pretty good spot for Naomi. And this gives me a slight lead. Is there anything better in this spot or elsewhere? Well, not that I can see. This is a reasonable rack. I don't think it's particularly bingo-y. To an N, I would have envying. I'm wondering about weighing in column 1, W-E-Y-I-N-G. That's a big score if it's good, but is it good? And is there something I'm more sure of that I can play in the same spot? My lead is only 15 points. Well, that spot stays available. Wow, that is so tempting, but I'm not sure of it. Weighing. Is weighed good? Not sure it is. Wingy, not sure of that either. 6-letter words are the Cinderellas of the Scrabble world, the last to be studied. Now, Vene is good. I'm wondering if there's anywhere good to play that. Looking at the time, I've got over 14 minutes left and we've played more than half the tiles. Certainly don't want to get away with a phony if I can avoid that. I think Yeaving is good. This is quite a blocked board. I'm looking in row... Well, Weeing is good. 33 points, leaving V-Y. Gosh, agonizing. If only I knew that weighing wasn't good, I could actively look for something else, but I keep coming back and wanting to play it. Well, I could play Jive. This stops Naomi from scoring well off the W, and it gets rid of all my problem tiles. Only 24 points. And it leaves a vowel-heavy rack leave. Well, what would be better, I think, would be to play it up here. Neither the G nor the W are great tiles. The W can't be bingoed through, and the G, well, is only really, well, is useful in ing and ag ending words, but it's not as dangerous as, say, an E, an R, or an S. It scores a lot of points, and it provides openings for me to score on the board. The openings are there for Naomi as well, but I would like to have scoring opportunities for myself. And this scores a lot more. Ah, retains. Fabulous. And, well, do I have a 9 timer through the G of jive? Having said it's not too dangerous, and you have the best possible rack in Scrabble barring a blank, maybe it is possible. There's about 9 or 10 anagrams through the G. So, angriest, angstier, astringe, ganister, granits, gantries, ingrates, reesting, steering, tasering. None of those is a 9 timer. Certainly some of them play as a bingo that gets tripled, but have I captured all of the anagrams? I know there are 3 beginning with A, 3 beginning with G. Ingrates, rangiest, okay, that doesn't fit. Rangiest, reesting, steering, tasering, okay. Well, I hope I'm not missing a retains 9 timer. Now, if that spot is blocked, do I have an alternative spot? Well, I do. I have cisterna, or creatines through the Sea of Provinces. And I have Stainer in column 12, making XIS. That's probably better because it gets doubled and it doesn't open up a triple word square in as dangerous a manner as creatines or cisterna does. But I will play through the G of jive if that stays available. Looking at the time, I have over 12.5 minutes and Naomi has 14 minutes. Okay, steering is not blocked, and nor is astringe. I think astringe is going to score the most. In fact, Daylit. Oh well, hang on a minute. Let me first of all consider if I have a 9 timer through the T of Daylit. So retains plus a T. Tartines, tertians, intreats, nitrates. Iterants is not good. Iterant is good. So is that it? Got a feeling there's more. Intreats, nitrates, tartines, tertians. Got a feeling there's 2 more. Well, I can't think what it is, but it would be irksome to miss a 9 timer. Okay, I'm just going to mentally imagine each letter in turn in front of the T as an alternative way of reaching the bingo. So AT, no, ET, IT, Well, that's iterance, which I think is a phony. And then there's just the S. Okay, I'm going with astringe. And that's 84 points. It's a big score. And what I like about it is that it keeps open column 15, which is a good scoring spot, and it provides a new scoring spot at B6. So I'm quite happy to have 2 openings available, because if Naomi takes one, I can take the other, or have first shot at the other. Thelf is a good 5-letter word. Doesn't play in either of the spots I've just mentioned. I've only got one vowel, which isn't great. Now my H can go at B6 to be tripled, but I don't think I can reach that square starting at B2. I think I could play Delft. Only 26 points, that's not very good. FEH is good, I can play that at M3, but the rack lever of DLNT is not good. It's really quite dangerous. The risk being that I pick up either 3 more consonants or duplicate tiles, because DLNT, there's quite a lot of those tiles left. Well, yes and no, there's only one of each. Right. Now Naomi scored 36 points, so she's only 37 points behind, and it's an open board. And there's one there. The tiles that are left are quite bingo-y, and there's a 9 timer row or column in column 15. Do I need to kill that? I'm not sure I can kill it without scoring a low score, because I think I'd have to put my vowel in first spot. So if I played ETH, only 18 points. Now astringe takes a D after it, so maybe I could play down from A14 a word beginning DI. Diff is good, and what that at 18 points, which isn't immense, but it does retain my vowel, and it retains the H for B6. Gosh, that is fortunate. I have drawn 2 vowels, so I now have a balanced rack. Do I have a bingo? I would have Anthelia through an A. No A available. There is the S of wages to consider. Can't see anything through that. And there's the C of provinces. Ethnical and chainlet and chatline. Fabulous. I have a bingo. Chainlet and chatline. I was going through the motions there with considering C. I was sort of mentally preparing to look for a 5-letter word ending in H in row B. But going through the motions can sometimes surprise you with a bingo, which is why you do it. Now, both chainlet and chatline do open up the possibility for a 9-timer in column 15, but the tiles that are left are not particularly bingo-y. They were before, but after wages and ruin, they're no longer so. There's a lot of O's, there's the Q, a U, and a W, and a J and an F. So I think I can play chainlet with a low risk of a 9-timer response, and I'm not worried about a single bingo response, because I think I'll be far enough ahead to still be the favourite. So chainlet 67 points, It's not great. Do I have anything through the E of provinces? Not that I can see. Well, I dodged the Q and all the O's, so hopefully Naomi is plagued with them. Not that I wish her ill outside of Scrabble. But back to my rack. I'm fortunate again, and this looks pretty good. And it's an open board. Do I have a bingo? A lot of floaters to consider, which is unusual at this stage of the game. There's only 9 tiles in the bag, 7 on Naomi's rack. I do have the ED suffix and DE prefix. And these tiles look like they have some synergy. But I haven't seen a bingo yet. Through an S I would have eclipsed, but the S of wages is in the wrong spot. I'm 92 points ahead. Okay, great, that takes out the 9 timer danger. And I'm still looking for a bingo, and I just need to methodically consider the available floaters, because I don't think I have a 7. No, well, I have just considered whether I have a 7 and rejected that possibility. So there's the N of chainlet. Pendicle. Yes. And penciled. Oh, right. Fabulous. And penciled is going to score more. Wow, that took a while to pop into my head. Again, I'm opening up a 9 timer, but I don't think that this is a real danger given the remaining tiles. So penciled 86 points. I can now see what tiles Naomi has got on her rack. They're not great. I don't think she's going to be bingoing, which means that I will have at least one more go with my rack. I have drawn the blank. I've got the Q. No U. But I think I'm going to have a choice of Q words to play here. QAT plays at B5. 20 points. But I suspect I can do better than that. I've got quota at K5 down. 28 points. Now through a W, or with the blank as a W, I've got WAQF, WAQF. Not sure that there's any great spot for that. Just scanning the board in case there is, and I can't see one. I've got quoad with the blank as a U in row O. 42 points. Okay, that's pretty good. Through an I or an R, I would have fakir. Now, what about playing in row N with the Q at N10 on the triple letter square and reaching the double word square at N14? So that would be a word beginning Q, U, E. Nope. Unfortunately, do not have such a word. Looking at the time, Naomi's got 9 minutes left. I've got just over 6, so neither of us is in time trouble. I think Naomi has benefited from being a natural 3-minute game player, and I have benefited by playing 4 bingos. Playing lots of bingos burns a lot of tiles and generally saves you from time trouble. So at the moment, Quoad is my preferred play. Not sure I have a second choice. I'm considering row M, placing the Q at M9 on the double letter square to see if that reaches across to the double word square just after the L of penciled. Can't see that it does. Well, I'd have quota at B2 across. 34 points. Well, that might be my second choice. I'm just scanning the board in case there are rows or spots that I haven't considered for my cue. Okay. So my best spot is taken out. I'm looking to see if sword has provided any opportunities for me. I don't think it has. In which case, I'm going to play quota up here, leaving me with an F. That F, I'm just checking to see that it can be played in two places. I can play it at K14, I can play it at N13, so I'm not going to be stuck with the F. I've got 5.5 minutes left. Quota scores 34 points. I'm expecting Naomi to go out, but she will lose. I ought to look around the board to see the highest scoring spot for my F in case Naomi doesn't go out, or phonies. I can get 9 points by playing the F at M7, making EF. So it's 9 points to beat. Diff is good, D-I-F-F, so that's 11 points. I've got FE and FE at K7 for 10. That's not quite better than diff. Okay, well, I'm not expecting to have another go, but if I do, I will be playing diff. Naomi has MOU on her rack. That plays at N6 across. Okay, she doesn't go out. So I can, with only one tile, it's pretty easy to just consider putting that tile in every single square on the board. I'm down to row F at the moment. Not seeing anything better than diff. Yeah, that exhausts the board, so I can play diff here for 11 points. Just waiting for Naomi to formally end the game, which she does. And the final score is 348 to Naomi, 498 to me, a winning margin of 150 points. Let's see what I missed. So, it was Naomi to go first, and she bingoed with Bendia. Great start for her. And Province was the only playable bingo, so I'm quite fortunate that an I was played. Now, Womb at J1, that was my play, that looks best. And Towsy at e2 also looks best, although I could have got 4 more points by playing Cozy at j8, but that would have retained the U. I would rather play it. Weeks for 42, I considered that instead. I played nukes for 37, and so I dropped 5 points, but I played off the U. There probably isn't a great deal between those plays. Great. Weighing was not good. Well, I'm glad I didn't talk myself into playing that. Viney at A12 was available, for 38. That would certainly have been better than Jive in the same... Well, would it? I think it is. I think it is better. Viney scores 8 more points. The Rackleave isn't as good as Jive, but it's not 8 points worse, so there probably isn't a great deal between those plays, but Jive I think is probably slightly second best. Now, any 9 timers missed. Ooh. Yes. Straighten for 131 points. That's a bad miss because retains are very common stems in Scrabble, so I ought to know all of the 8s, and Straighten slipped through the net. But Stringe, for nearly 50 points less, was second best. Now, here I had a tricky rack. I played Diff at A14 to retain the blank and remove the 9 timer possibility. Hefted at K7 was available. I see through the E of provinces. Pretty good score, 31 points. Diff only scored 18. Yeah, but there were strategic reasons for playing Diff, which the computer, or the ISC computer, doesn't take into account. Now, pretty lucky with my draw. Chainlet and Chatline were the only bingos. And again, to immediately pick up a bingo was fortunate, and I had Penciled and Pendicle. Penciled scored more. And here, Quoth was playable at K5. Where's that? Oh, through the U of nukes for 32 points. Instead, I played Quota. Yeah, my play was, I think, 2 points worse than Quaff, so a slightly suboptimal final move for me. Or penultimate move, rather. Naomi didn't go out. She could have done. And Diff was the highest scoring outplay. So, a great game, wide open, lots of bingos, a missed 9 timer. Well done if you spotted that. Thank you very much to Naomi for agreeing to play this match, and I hope she enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it and learnt some stuff and enjoyed watching it. So thank you for watching. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.